What's up everybody, it's CJ and I'm back with another Barnacle Bay renovation video, and honestly y'all, I'm back with another video in general. So if you've been wondering like, CJ, where have you been? What's been going on? Are you okay? Y'all, I have been sick as a dog these past couple of weeks. So some of you may know, I did a subathon on December 19th and it was for 3 days in a row. So I started Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern and I did not finish until Sunday. I forgot what time I finished. It had to be maybe like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It was kind of late. Needless to say, I did not know that I was going to get sick. Like, I knew that I was losing my voice come Sunday because I was talking so much the weekend, you know, and it kind of just makes sense. You know, you just talk a lot, but I did not know that when I was going to wake up the next day on that Monday, I was going to be sick, y'all. Because I had planned to take a couple of days off from streaming anyway after the subathon, but I was still going to like make YouTube videos, right? No, yo, I was so sick. Even now, like I feel a lot better now, but I still have a cough. Well, it kind of got to the point where like I couldn't even talk at all without going into a coughing fit, so I couldn't even really stream either. Like, I was literally in bed. Luckily, though, I've been kind of just chilling, resting up, you know, just thinking of, like, video stuff, things like that. And I have been playing a lot of Animal Crossing. I mentioned this before, but I love Animal Crossing, y'all. It has been so nice and calming just to play. And I recently got a Switch, too. So I've been able to just play it in bed and just kind of vibe out. And it's funny enough because this house reminds me of an Animal Crossing house, believe it or not. So this is the Gull's cabin. This is one of the starter homes in Barnacle Bay. So Odessa Cross lives here. So it's not like an unpopulated home. Someone does actually live here. She's a chef. She's also a young adult and she likes to garden and cook. She has a logic skill. So I was trying to just make her house a lot better because believe it or not, her house is really, really small. I did make it a couple tiles bigger in the back of the house just so I could squeeze more stuff in. But her house is really, really small. She didn't really have that much money to do the renovation, honestly. Like, I think she had around like 5,000 simoleons. Funny enough, we did not run out of money, which was good. But a big reason why is because I either used things that she already had or I like swapped it out for something that was a little bit cheaper. So like, for example, the windows that she had originally, they were like some of the cheapest ones in the game, but there's these windows from University, which are even cheaper. So some things I kept, some things I swapped around. I knew for a fact that I wanted to give her a house that was her favorite color. That's usually what I do nowadays, where if it's like, if I'm renovating for a sim that I don't really know, you know, or if it's not like one of my sims, I kind of just base the house off things they like or things they may like to do. So like, for example, her favorite color is violet, so I gave her a purple house, you know. I did like the stone that she had, so I recolored it and made it a little bit darker. This house reminds me of the one that I did a couple of weeks ago, the sea bottom house, where it was like the sim who basically like lived secluded and she really didn't have any windows on her house because I think she had like treasure or something on the inside of her house. So this house really reminds me of that one, which is funny because like that was not intentional, but it just kind of turned out that way. I mean, we have 2 violet houses in Barnacle Bay now, you know, but at least this one is smaller and this one is decorated differently, you know. I see this sim as like very colorful. She's artistic. She just likes what she likes. Funny enough, this house isn't that bad. Honestly, without me doing any renovations, this house isn't really that bad. Like, it's an EA house, so it is what it is, but like, it wasn't horrible. You know, it had everything you needed. It was just kind of small, but other than that, like, it had everything you really needed. I feel like all I really did for the renovation was just made it a lot better, you know, because I have access to like all the packs and stuff. So as you'll see, I used the tree from Showtime in the front yard. I put a little fence around the house and I even like added some more like shrubs and stuff like that as well. But as you can see on the inside, it's not really that bad. Maybe I think this way because I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing and there's a DLC for the game called Happy Home Paradise. And you basically go in and like renovate houses for the villagers. Think of like Dream Home Decorator for Sims 4, something kind of like that. So I think I just may have been used to just like a lot of different tacky colors and just funky looking things, you know. So I think that's low-key why I like this house so much, because it just literally gives off a Animal Crossing vibe to me. And funny enough, I think I'm gonna build a Animal Crossing home. I think I'm gonna do that because like, if you may remember, like years ago I did a Stardew Valley inspired home in The Sims 3. If you didn't see the video and you want to, I'll leave it linked down below. But yeah, like I kind of want to do a Animal Crossing villager inspired home. Like, I don't know if it'll be based on a specific villager, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna like do one. It'll probably just be like Animal Crossing vibes, if that makes sense. But as you can see, the inside is starting to come together. Around this time is when I realized I needed more space. So as you can see, I made the house a lot bigger. So I've really just like tore down the wall, and like I said, yo, I like the furnishing style. I like the color of the chairs, the hardwood floor. I love it. I did swap out the wallpaper for something more neutral. I kind of just went with like a beige white color for the wallpaper. I do include an accent wall in the living room, however. It's the same one that I use for the kitchen. I like to do accent walls because it just kind of make the room look different, makes it look a little bit more unique, and it can kind of act as like artwork without it actually being artwork if you think about it. So I do have an accent wall in here, and then I did open up the house a little bit more now that we have space. I do use half walls to kind of like separate the kitchen from the living room a little bit, but like I just think that, you know, a house this small, it could have a closed off floor plan, that's fine, but I wanted something a little bit more open so like Sims could actually maneuver the space, you know? It is just a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, so I mean, you could fit 2 Sims in here at least, but yeah, it's a very small house. I love the color schemes on the inside and out. It's funny too because like I didn't really put that much violet or purpley stuff on the inside of the house. I feel like if anything, her bedroom has the majority of like all the different colors and patterns and stuff like that. But as you can see now, we're starting off in the living room. I was really inspired by the carpet color in her bedroom, like the yellow with the swirls, and I knew that I wanted to use that somewhere in the house. So I'm using it for the rug in the living room. And then like this is just me now going back to the kitchen, like separating a little space. As you can see, I use those half walls from the pets pack. I use like tile from the base game, and then like this is where I put the accent wall. So you'll see it's like this brick stone kind of accent wall. I do use this in the living room as well, but I do recolor the white border at the top so it could match with the rest of the wallpaper. And y'all, I had a hard time trying to put these upper cabinets up here. I don't know what was going on with this one in particular, but the game did not want me to put it up here. I don't know what was going on. I had to like place it down. I was like, is it move objects? Like, I don't know. But eventually I was able to put upper cabinets up there. I do keep the microwave. I kept the stove. I think I may have added like 1 or 2 countertops, and then the upper cabinets is what I added. Again, I was trying to stay within the budget, but also just trying to make the space a little bit more filled in. I do swap the location of the, yeah, there we go. I do move the stove so it can be a little bit more centered. I also added some more chairs at the table as well. And then I do swap out the old trash can for a new one. I just really like the kitchen. It's really nice. Like this house kind of gives like a early 2000s kind of vibe also. Kind of like a Sims 2 vibe in a way. I don't know. I just think it looks so nice. Now for the bathroom, I do make the bathroom a lot smaller because like it didn't really need to be this big. And I noticed that about a lot of EA houses. A lot of them will have like these really big bathrooms. Sometimes you need a big bathroom if you have like a lot of Sims or pets or whatever, but like it's just her. So we didn't really need a big bathroom this time around. So I kept all of the original plumbing in here except for the sink. I swapped out the sink for a countertop with a sink in it, you know, just to kind of fill in more space. But I do keep the toilet. I kept the mirror. I just recolored it a little bit. Also, funny enough, this bathroom actually has 2 windows. That was not intentional, but it kind of worked, so I kept it. And I also do use the original shower. I just recolor everything in here. I kind of went with a more like beige-ish kind of color for the bathroom. Again, this sim is like super colorful, and I feel like a lot of the house is kind of like more muted, but you'll see it in the accents, like the couches, the rugs, that kind of thing, you know? Like I could imagine her like renting this house and not being able to like do whatever she wanted, you know, like it's not her house technically. So yeah, I was like, maybe we could have like some colors and stuff in other ways. So now we kind of move more over to the living room section. So I kept a lot of stuff. So like those sunflowers I kept. I wanted to keep this chair, I really did, y'all, but it's a little expensive, and I was like, I wanted to be able to put more stuff to kind of fill out the living room. So what I did, I recolored a base game chair and I just copied the design over, and then I also used these base game chairs because I like these for one, and they're also a lot cheaper than the other ones. So, you know, at least this way you have more of a seating area in the living room. I also use a little like ottoman in the corner just for some extra decor, but it does function as another chair, so I do move that over. And I wanted to kind of also add some tropical things in here because we are in Barnacle Bay, and she does have like a life preserve on the wall, so I was like, let's just kind of like add some tropical stuff, you know. So I'm using the end table from the Island Paradise pack. I also move the life preserve like in the living room. I have some tropical plants. The coffee table is also the tiki one from the store, so there's a lot of like tropical inspiration in here, you know. I also kept her art easel and I put it in the corner of the room because I didn't really want to delete it because, you know, she does like to do art, so I just kept it there. And it also looks cool because it looks like she was painting on it and she didn't finish the painting yet, so I thought that kind of looked cool too, so I just kept it. Funny enough, out of all the skills that she has, there is no logic skill object here, and I didn't really think about it until after I was done with the house and kind of was almost out of money. So if you wanted to, you could add a chess table or a computer or a laptop and have her do like computer games. I think it's with university. If you have university, you could do computer games and they can earn the logic skill that way. But you know, like if you want to add a chess table, you can, but there's just no chess table here. You know, there is a TV and there's also a art easel. And I also gave her like a little garden in the back. You'll see it in a little bit, but I knew that I wanted to give her one because, like, you know, she likes to garden and she also likes to cook. So I can imagine her growing her own food to cook with, you know. Now we move on to the bedroom. So I splurged a little bit and gave her a slightly better bed than what she had at first. I also changed the wallpaper, and her carpet had the swirls on it, but I didn't like it for the carpet. So I made it more yellowy and just kind of like a more like basic carpet. The wallpaper is a slight green color scheme. I do keep that butterfly, or at least one of the butterfly wall pieces, and I put it on the wall. You can't really see it, but I think it does show up in the screenshot. And then I was looking around to kind of like see like what other things I could put in here, and I found some objects from the Drifter's Desire set. I believe that's what it's called. So you'll see that I used the dresser from that set. I also used the nightstands because like they're bright and colorful, and I can imagine her like painting them, you know, like she maybe thrifted them, and I could like see her repainting them and giving them like a new life and stuff. I think you can definitely see like the artistic, like artsy kind of vibes in this house. Funny enough, I wanted to put some curtains in here, but I kind of ran out of money, so I couldn't add any. But if I had more money, I would definitely put some curtains in here too, just to kind of like have like more stuff in here. But honestly, y'all, I am so pleased with how this house turned out. I'm more so happy that I did not run out of money. Like, I don't know if that means I'm just getting better at budgeting my Sims money or what, or maybe we just kind of lucked out because this house was smaller anyway, but I am really pleased that we had some money left over. So if you do move in here and you don't want to cheat the money, your Sims can afford this place. This is technically a one Sim starter home, so if you have one Sim that lives here, you can definitely move in. But in all, y'all, that's pretty much it for the entire build. As you can see, I'm kind of just putting the finishing touches on. I do keep the fishbowl because I almost forgot to put it back on the nightstand, so I do keep the fishbowl, and that's pretty much it. You know, this house pretty much has everything you need. If you want to download it, I am going to leave a link to this down below. Also, I forgot to say it, Happy New Year, by the way. I hope this year is really good, y'all. I hope everybody has a good 2026. Here's to a good year. Oh, I also do put a couple planters in the front of the house just in case she wanted to do like some more gardening or something like that. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this one. I will see y'all in the next one. Please be sure to stick around for the screenshots so you can see the build from different angles. But anyway, that's all that I have for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Thanks for watching.